The next thing to think about, I think, is logic. I like to think about writing as a problem, as solving a problem or taking a position. And in some ways, like, the essence of scholarship writing is that you're trying to portray yourself as this kind of, a person who can do this kind of experience. You know, study at London School of Economics. So that is like the overarching kind of argument that goes through that. So the problem becomes like, how do you substantiate it? So that should guide you as you're trying to construct this. So that's what I mean by like the overarching logic.
I have a question.
Sure.
So for like, say ETAs, the teaching ones, aren't they more or less the same in like everywhere? Like you go to teach English in whatever country it is you apply to. So I guess my question is, what would make something, like if they're already telling you what it is you're going to be doing, how do you kind of make yourself stand out?
Yeah, it's really hard. And the Fulbrights, ETAs, they're two essays. One is called the personal statement, which is really more about your intellectual development. So it means not just classes, it means really like especially your co-curricular development. So the personal statement is about that. So that's kind of the overarching logic for that one. But there's also a statement of grand purpose, which is where you include two main things. One is like why teaching, and then the second thing is like, well, why that country, and the third thing sometimes is that secondary project. So that's just kind of the structure of the other one. And it becomes, it's very idiosyncratic by the country, and then you have to line up your experiences to fit in there as well. So, you know, you come in and I'll kind of quiz you, like what were the important co-curricular things that you did at Colgate? You know, like what research experiences have you had? What was the key academic experience that you had? When did you do the thesis? Are you doing a thesis? So it might seem formulaic, but it isn't. And if you look at the ones that are effective, the ones that win, they're also individually different, I think. And we have examples. That's the other thing, is that at a certain point, we'll show you examples of very polished essays as models. Sensor talks about the importance of having models or developing models.
Are you here over the summer?
I am. In fact, I work with students all over the world by Skype. Or, I don't know, we're adding Hangouts too. Though Hangouts does something strange with the audio sometimes. So anyway, the next thing to think about in writing is think about the paragraph itself. Each paragraph is a unit. Think about the paragraph as a unit. And so it itself has this idea of logic and a structure too. It itself is a mini story or a mini argument. So in some ways, think about, how does a paragraph begin and how does it end? So like especially how you end paragraphs is extremely important, because usually they're a conclusion from the premise or the thesis that you start out at the beginning, but they also set you up for the next paragraph. So they're important in terms of transition. So don't worry about it. We get into all this once we get hammering away on this. But beginnings and